Russell Owen, Mission Racing team owner. This season's been a bit difficult to start with. Just tell us how it's gone so far, 3 rounds in.
3 rounds in, we've been dealt a little bit of bad luck. The bad luck started in pre-season testing, to be honest, but we was hoping today, well, I'm saying as luck's changed, we actually had a good Donington riding-wise. It was a hard round for us. Fundamentally, I'll talk about Fraser first. He's a fast lad, we know he's a fast lad, and I knew what he could do on this BMW, and he kind of did prove it at Donington. One of the big problems we've had is with a pre-season crash, we've had an electrical gremlin in there that's meant he's had absolutely no rider aids whatsoever. So he's had no traction control, no engine braking, no anti-wheelie. So he is fundamentally riding a sort of a superbike, if you would. But we've made the best of a bad situation. Obviously, for a short while he led one of the races at Donington, and he got up to 4th, and I think he finished 8th, 6th, and he dropped off of the wet race. Again, with no traction control. The rear tyre was spinning that much, it went up to probably maybe 30 odd PSI, so he had no chance. But Brands Hatch, he had a little off doing a practice start, which is not the ideal place to have an off, so we missed free practice too, qualified 18th because we missed half of that as well. But again, he fought his way up almost into single figures. Lap times are there, and then we've come here. We've managed to get him the first time he's ridden the bike that we've actually had rear grip that he's happy with, and he qualified 8th yesterday, but then he had an off, he's broken his foot, so he's declared unfit to ride today. So that's kind of where we are Fraser Rogers wise. Ben, riding his own Suzuki, he loves the bike, he's fast. I think where he is 12th, 13th, which is given the 11 or 12 in front of him is brilliant, absolutely. But in the official test here, he's broken his shoulder, so he's out for 6, 7, 8 weeks maybe. So that's kind of where we are at the moment.
Going forward then, you've got 6 weeks off to think about how we put a plan together. How are you going to do that? Really,
I think we're going to do some testing, and we're going to we think last night with the rebuild of this, we've actually solved the electric gremlin, which was the reason why we found it was I just had a quick look at his data yesterday to try and find this problem, and we noticed that his throttle was only 95%, and I'm thinking there's no way on earth he's riding this on 95% throttle, that doesn't make sense. So I wiped and recalibrated the throttle, and as soon as I did, all the gremlins seemed to go. So really, would it be nice even if it had just done a lap today just to see if that were cured. But we're going to go away, regroup, rebuild this bike, get a spares package back up to where it should be again, and hopefully, given his foot, I think the sensible thing to do is maybe a couple of track days, a couple of test days, and carry on really where we are. I think with it, I'm having to set this bike up so different to the 2 years I've done previously, because Fraser likes to turn the bike on the rear, so he rides a high at the front, low at the back, and turns on the rear, whereas previous riders, Kriss, was all about the front and corner speed. So it's good because now we've gone both ways on the bike, and I think we're learning. And like I say, it was 1/10 off the front row on qualifying, and that's with no rider aids. So I'm confident if we get that sorted, he doesn't need his head sorting. He's totally just put fuel in it and let me go, So I think a couple of track days, and hopefully we'll come back strong. Hopefully Ben's fit to ride and all sorted with his Suzuki and everything, and if that's the case, we'll be back to strength, I think. But a little side project is Matty Whelan on the MV Augusta there. We've known each other a few years, and this is his first year in stock 600, so not that I've had a lot of time to help him. He's come along, and to be fair, these guys have helped me out more with all the rebuilding, but so there's plenty to be thinking about, really.
You mentioned Kriss just then. Was you sad to see him go, for having seen the great results he put in last year? Nearly came close to a win as well at Silverstone. Yeah. So obviously it was difficult to see him go off to another team.
Honestly,
and no. Jordan as well.
And Jordan, yeah. Jordan, he's done an absolutely great job this year, and I'll be the first to admit, I didn't expect to see him where he is, so hats off to Jordan, absolutely doing a great job. Kriss is exactly where you'd expect him to be. Honestly, no, I'm not sad to see him go, because if you look at his previous, and I'm a really good friend of Kriss's, and I think a lot about him, and he does 2 years. He has a 2-year project, and we knew that at the beginning, and the first year, it was actually at this round in his first year we got his first top 10 with him, and that was the pinnacle for me of why we go racing. First year on a BM, first year on 1,000 for him, our first year with BMW, and that top 10 were brilliant. The following year, the second year with him, so last year, we spent a bit more money on the bike. We went for the titanium parts instead of the stainless steel. We went for the lightweight batteries. We bought some lightweight, but we spent a bit on the bike, and I knew that was going to be enough to see him on the podium. I knew it because we were there or thereabouts, and exactly that. I'm happy to see him move forwards. That's the idea. I can't. Where Mission Racing is, we don't have any financial sponsors. So where Mission Racing is if I see a rider that's got potential and they like what I do and I like what they do, if we can help them progress and then send them through, that's what it's all about. What money would I need to go with them? So it'd be great. Don't get me wrong. If we could get that in place and move maybe to superbikes with a rider, we would do that. But you've got to be realistic, haven't you? There's no point turning up doing it wrong. I'd rather turn up and try and do it right. So yeah.
If a big sponsor did come in, though, say halfway through this year, would looking at superbikes next year or maybe in 2020 even be a consideration?
100%, yeah. We'd love to get there, but it's obviously the financial. The stock 1,000 is. Look how busy the class is. It is. There's no such thing as cost-effective racing, is there? But like they say on the TV, you can buy a bike, you can put an exhaust, and you can go and race it. It ain't quite like that. You are still looking at, even with good deals, you're looking at over 20,000 to build one. But could I find a sponsor, find a team to buy their current bikes? So I'll be running such as a last year's bike and learn. And what I wouldn't want to do is turn up and embarrass either myself or any riders. I'd have to know we could do the job. But I believe that the couple of riders that have been through Mission Racing and the riders we've got currently, 100%.
But finally, as we come into this 6-week break, then after that, it all comes thick and fast for the rest of the year. Yeah. What do you expect from Fraser? Podiums, race wins, or is that a little bit too much to ask for, considering with the broken foot now as well?
If he has a full recovery, because obviously you might be aware Fraser got offered a world superstock ride, a European superstock ride, and he did a great job there, and I was proud to see him do that, and I think he might get offered some more. Possibly the Donington UK round would make sense, but that gives him like sort of 2 weekends of recovery before he would be riding again. So let's just say he has a full recovery and there's no injury there, then I don't think I'm talking out of turn if I say podiums. Yeah, a race win would be fantastic, but like we say, the depth of field this year is unbelievable. He's definitely capable, 100%. Fraser got on this bike the first time, and I've never known anybody just get on a bike they've never ridden and not familiar with and be that fast out of the box. So 100%. I think, But you need everything. You need all the stars to align, don't you? It only takes one slight chink in the armour, and forget about it. Your weekend's over. So, but you might see us on a podium this year. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
No worries. Cheers, Kiko. Thank you.